Rio, a vulnerable prey.
Here we go. Wilson Miles from
Hi.
Black TV. How's it going, folks?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
I was just saying to somebody, Sebastian's having the best time right now. He's on TV. He's got this movie. He's in that batshit crazy mode.
Oh man.
So,
Yeah.
Chris, you never know when your films or your projects are going to come out. But when they come out and it's around the same time and it's all good, you go back. And for me, it's like, what went into saying yes to taking on this role?
Are you asking me or
Yeah,
date?
I'm starting off with you, Sebastian.
Oh, okay. I think it was certainly different than most things I've read, and certainly different in terms of having acted before, and it had great people I wanted to play opposite of, and a director with a real vision. So there was just a combination of things, and fortunately it worked out.
And then Daisy, this is a whole new meaning to dating and how careful people have to be anytime in terms of like, oh, I met this guy. He wants me to go here. Think about that. So how did you immerse yourself in the role for this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that we had such a great script as a sort of bouncing board, and I thought it was doing something really different. Sort of, I'd never read anything like it, so I guess I for me, I had to make sure I nailed the accent because it was an accent I hadn't done before. I hadn't done an American accent, so I wanted to make sure I got that right. So that was a big thing of finding like Noah's voice. And then, yeah, I mean, I think we actually had to quarantine for 2 weeks before we started filming. So I had 2 weeks of being in a hotel room with this material, thinking about it, which was, an interesting 2 weeks of my life. And we spent a lot of time Zooming each other. And that was really important, too, to make sure that the chemistry we had in real life could translate on screen. And so we were lucky we already got on and had lots of sort of FaceTimes and, bonded over the weirdness of being in quarantine.
Do you have a new appreciation or depreciation for me all of a sudden, Sebastian?
Well, it's tough. I mean, it certainly changed a bit for me. I mean, I was already kind of going that way more or less, rather, eating meat, so to speak. But definitely, as we were shooting this movie, I wasn't I wasn't eating meat.
And then just obviously, you guys shot this during quarantine time, as you mentioned, Zoom and everything else. So how was it when you're shooting on set? And was it like a normal set, or is it like you're doing your scenes and then you had to get back into your bunkers in quarantine again? At least stay apart from each other. Daisy?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny because it was only when we wrapped and everyone sort of, everyone sort of took their mask off just for a bit so we could see what everyone looked like. It's really funny when you're filming and you don't know what most of the crew's sort of lower half of their face is like. So yeah, but I mean, I think it was sort of it can be a very insular bubble when you're filming, and I feel like COVID sort of makes that even more so because you're all kind of doing in it together, really, and so
It was isolating for sure. I mean, Mimi had been there for 3 months before we started shooting in Canada, and again, in a bubble, like quarantining, and then just working on the movie. And I think for her, it's like, and when we got there in January, it was the same way. It felt we couldn't do anything, so it was all the movie the whole time. And I actually sometimes think, weirdly, that was a good thing because it allowed us to focus so much on the project. And then when we started shooting, we were pretty much working every day, and it just kind of went very quickly.
You guys get good performances. Obviously, we're talking because there's buzz about it. It's got the buzz out of Sundance. Congratulations. Hopefully, I'll speak to you down the road on your next projects. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you, man.